On Global TV AM News, National Emergency Management confirmed one date in Lagos building collapse. In business, Nigerians spent 4 trillion naira on fuel import in the first half of 2025. On the foreign scene, Russian claims a capture of another village in Ukraine. In sport, Ajayi Okon impressed as Nigerian battled mixed results at Athletics World Championship in Tokyo. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to AM News on Global Television. Coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Sadia Yakubu. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV, channels 365 and StarTimes, channels 276. The National Emergency Management Agency has confirmed one death following the collapse of a 3-story building under construction at the Alagomeji in the Yaba area of Lagos State. Officials said a male body was recovered from the rubble during ongoing search and rescue operations, while at least 4 persons were earlier rescued alive and remain in stable condition. The incident, which also saw the Lagos State Fire Service report 8 construction workers rescued, has reignited concern about poor building standard and recurring collapses in the state. The federal government has disclosed plans to transform the nation's 417 grazing reserves into mini towns with stable power supply, education and healthcare facilities, markets, road network, security, irrigation, facilities, veterinary services, feed production, among others. This was revealed by the Minister of Livestock Development, Idi Meha, at the Memorandum of Understanding, signing with the Rural Electrification Agency to provide solar-powered grids to reserves upon their rehabilitation and resettlement. Suspended Kogi Central Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan has threatened legal action against the clerk of the National Assembly, Kamarudin Ogunlana, if she is prevented from resuming plenary on Monday. Natasha's threat was contained in the letter signed by her counsel, Chief Michael Numa San. She vowed to seek legal redress against any attempt by the National Assembly to disregard a court order regarding her resumption. The Federal Ministry of Education has called on all Nigerians to ensure schools remain safe environments where children can learn and teachers can teach without fear. The ministry made a call in a statement shared on its official Twitter handle to mark the International Day to Protect Education from Attack. Permanent Secretary Ebe Enitang, represented by Ministry's Director Dr. Sahid Yusuf, emphasized in the statement that insecurity in schools is unacceptable, saying every child deserves peace and teachers must work without fear. Meanwhile, in the recent announced secondary school curriculum reforms has continued to generate mixed reactions, while some see it as a milestone for Nigerian education. Others are raising concerns about its implementation. Global Television correspondent Priscilla Obasi took to the streets of Abuja to get the views of school owners and citizens.
For years, Nigerian students have studied under a curriculum widely criticized for being outdated and overly exam-focused. But from September 2025, the federal government says things will change. The new curriculum introduces artificial intelligence modules, robotics, cybersecurity basics, digital entrepreneurship, journalism, and advanced language studies. Officials say the goal is to prepare Nigerian students for the realities of the digital age. While some citizens welcome the reform as a bold and progressive step, others expressed concern over how it will be implemented, citing inadequate facilities, lack of digital infrastructure, and shortage of qualified teachers.
It's even too late as I speak. It's a welcome development. This is 21st century. We are far lacking behind. What's the essence of introducing 20 textbooks, 15 textbooks you are reading without practical?
Well, if they can implement it, is good. But what about people in the rural area? Government have a good intention, but implementation is the issue. Because we have a rural area I hope they no go leave them behind.
Some school owners and heads told Global Television that many private institutions have already integrated such subjects into their teaching and that the new curriculum will not be strange to them.
Okay, for us, we are very prepared because prior to now, we are known for creativity and innovation in our school. We are hands-on, and even before the curriculum, we've always engaged our students and pupils in all of this. So we are very ready.
I have looked at it closely. There are similarities between the reforms that the federal government in Nigeria is bringing into the educational system that you have already in the British system, and then you have in what we practice here at Spring Hall. If you notice, you find out that the reforms are then beginning to gear towards entrepreneurial skills, ICT, as well as trade skills. And we already have that embedded in the British national curriculum in some of the subjects we've been offering here as well.
Despite concerns, many agreed that the reform was long overdue. Stakeholders said that if properly implemented, the new curriculum could bridge the skill gap and make Nigerian graduates more globally competitive. As schools prepare to resume, the debate continues. Will the reform transform classrooms into centers of innovation, or will it remain another well-intentioned policy struggling against the reality of underfunded schools? Priscilla Obasi, Global Television News.
Rivers State government has announced the commencement of transition from emergency rule to democratic governance. A statement by the Secretary to the state government, Professor Ibibia Loki, invited all the critical stakeholders to a church service as part of the transition process. The development comes nearly 6 months after President Bola Tinubu declared a state of emergency in the state. Members of the Kebbi State caucus in the National Assembly have called for arrest and prosecution of former Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, over last week's violent clashes in Birnin Kebbi. Addressing journalists in Abuja, Senator Adamu Aleru, flanked by fellow lawmakers, dismissed Malami's petition, accusing Governor Nasir Idris of sponsoring talks and armed deals as false, politically motivated, and a smear campaign. And Niete Patrick reports.
The lawmakers alleged instead that Malami hired thugs who attacked the APC state secretariat during his recent visit, sparking clashes that disrupted Kebbi's long-standing reputation for peace. They reaffirmed their support for Governor Idris, praising his administration's investment in security and insisting that Kebbi remains one of the most peaceful states in Nigeria.
We wish to categorically state that these allegations are false, unfounded, and politically motivated. They represent a desperate attempt by Mr. Malami, now leader of an imaginary opposition party in Kebbi State, to undermine the peace, progress, and stability that our people currently enjoy under the leadership of Governor Nasir Idris.
Senator Garuba Medoki added that we are provocative and campaign-like, challenging him to produce evidence of his allegations. He also commended President Bola Tinubu's ongoing fight against banditry, noting improved security in Kebbi communities.
Challenge him to produce evidence to you that he said he has evidence. We challenge him to produce it that our party is importing weapons. We are not a dangerous people. We do not support any dangerous activity towards Nigeria. We do not support terrorism in whatever form and manner, and we are against it. We are going to fight it. The president has done so well in the fight of banditry today.
The caucus urged security agencies to invite Malami to substantiate his claims and warned against allowing partisan theatrics to undermine national peace efforts. Anieti Patrick, reporting for Global TV.
The Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Gala, has charged Nigerian Navy personnel to remain proactive, adaptable, and forward-thinking in addressing security. He gave the charge at the graduation of Naval Police Officers Basic Course 14 and Able Regulators Qualifying Course 16 at the Provost and Regulating School in Makurdi, Benue State. Felicity Ndiri has details.
It's a day of pride at the Nigerian Provost and Regulating School in Makurdi as students march out after completing 18 weeks of intensive training.
Knowledge you have gained in this citadel of learning is a solid foundation. It is important to remember that learning never stops.
Represented by the Flag Officer Commanding Special Operations Command, Rear Admiral Olusegun Shoyemi, the Chief of Naval Staff said the evolving nature of security demands continuous learning, adaptability, and discipline from naval personnel.
The Nigerian Navy is constantly adapting to meet the ever-evolving challenges of the 21st century. Our maritime domain continues to grow in strategic importance, and it is imperative that you, as members of this esteemed service, remain adaptable, proactive, and forward-thinking. As such, take every opportunity to learn, improve, and contribute to the advancement of our Navy.
Commandant of the school, Captain Henry Eje, explained that the training covered naval law, criminology, forensic investigation, and cyber security, equipping officers for contemporary security challenges.
It is pertinent to note that a professional diploma in forensic investigation and security management package conducted by the International Institute of Professional Security was added to the course's curriculum. The inclusion of this package has not only broadened the knowledge of these graduates, but also prepared them to face contemporary and emerging security threats in the maritime environment.
Certificates were presented to all graduates, with outstanding students receiving special awards. Officers noted that the graduation strengthened discipline and professionalism in the naval while enhancing its capacity to safeguard Nigeria's maritime domain. In Makurdi, Felicity Ndere reporting for Global TV News.
Peer influence remains one of the most powerful forces shaping the lives of young people across the globe, and Nigeria is no exception. While it sometimes drives positive change, experts warn it can also lure youth into destructive choices. Global Television's Kabir Hassan hit the streets of Abuja to hear firsthand from young Nigerians on everyday reality.
For many youths, the desire to fit in is overwhelming. Psychologists says the strong need for acceptance often makes teenagers and young adults vulnerable to peer pressure, sometimes leading to negative behaviors such as drug abuse, cultism, and internet fraud. But not all influences are harmful. In Abuja, some young people told Global TV that peer pressure has pushed them into better habits, from studying harder to learning new skills, inspired by friends pursuing the same goals.
The side effect of peer pressure is a bad side. One, you lead you to go and do bad things. If you are not a patient type, you lead you to go and steal, you lead you to go and do something you never expected in your life. The best way to do is just to avoid.
It does more harm than good. It really does more harm than good, because most of what these adolescents pick up quickly are the bad parts, like getting into drugs, smoking, and all of that. I think when you're pressured to do some certain things, you know it's definitely bad. There's no much good coming from that.
Some bullies, so it might want to be like, it might be like you don't have the strength they have, and the thing might disturb you mentally or emotionally, and sometimes some people start, let's say a place like boarding school now, before you know, you can start taking drugs.
There's a lot of pressure, especially negative pressures are more. We have more negative pressure in pairing something than the positive one.
Still, stakeholders caution their guidance is key. School, families, and religious bodies are urged to step up efforts to help youths make wiser choices. They stress that while peer pressure can be a source of motivation without proper direction, it risks undermining the future of Nigeria's next generation.
Take their time, make thorough research before they join one or two groups. You understand? Because I don't know, some people they don't know. By the time they get into it, to come out, it will be hard for them.
What can be done mostly to that effect is, I think, more work has to be done on parenting to sort of protect the children from when they go out there and meet other people.
The positive side, like later on, I see joined one or two groups that we have. We normally have tutorial together. We help ourselves. What you don't know, you say, oh, guy, what do you know about this? What do you know about this? And they will just come around, oh, let me teach you about this course.
Peer pressure is inevitable. The challenge is making it work for good, not harm. Kabir Hassan, reporting for Global TV News.
You're watching the live broadcast of AM News. When AM News returns, Nigerians spent 4 trillion naira on fuel imports in the first half of 2025. Details coming shortly, plus foreign and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us. Welcome back from that short break. And in business news, Nigeria recorded full import bill totaling 4 trillion naira in the first half of 2025. And the large import outlay highlights continued reliance on imported petroleum products despite domestic refinery ambition. Economics warns that the figure will have implications for the country's trade balance and fiscal planning. In the Muslim markets in Nigeria, especially in the western parts of the country, the rich indigo hues of Adire's Nigerian's traditional tie and dye flutter proudly in the wind. They are more than fabric. They are stories woven in color, tradition, and identity. Our Global TV correspondent takes us into the world of this popular Yoruba attire.
Tie and dye, known locally as Adire in Yoruba language, is one of Nigerians' oldest textile traditions, rooted in centuries of artistry. It involves the intricate process of folding, tying, stitching, or plaiting fabrics. The dyeing is with natural or synthetic colors, most famously the deep blue from local indigo leaves.
Because I love it. It's actually a renewed fashion known by mostly the Yorubas.
Historically worn by royalty and women of status, tie and dye fabrics today have made a modern comeback, seen on runways, in fashion boutiques, and on the streets, proudly worn by youth reclaiming cultural pride. Beyond fashion, tie and dye is a symbol of resilience. In a fast-changing world, this craft continues to empower communities, especially women, providing income and preserving heritage.
Adire market is okay. It's moving well because of time. You know, this kind of Adire you see, you used to buy time. Like because of some guests are using it to sew trouser with it, use it with another color of follow at it. You understand? So they used to buy it.
Today, young designers are blending old techniques with new trends, with mixing patterns, introducing bold colors, and experimenting with global styles. Workshops and cultural centers across Nigeria, and now teaching the younger generation this tireless skill.
This time around, I'm seeing it, people wearing it. I think it's kind of different, and people were wearing different style of Adire. You understand? And again, when you have a very good tailor that can sew it for you, you understand? You are going to love it.
From the Art and Culture Center in Abuja to Indigo Pit of Osogbo to the art schools of Lagos and other cities, producing Adire, the beauty of tie and dye lives on, not just in the colors and patterns, but in the cultural pride it inspires.
In every swill and speech of color lies a story of identity, creativity, and Nigerian heritage. A reminder that even in modern times, our culture remains beautiful, dyed in tradition. Sadia Yakubu reporting for Global Television.
And on the foreign scene, Russia says its forces have captured a village in Ukraine's central region. Through Kyiv, and independent analysis dispute the claim. Moscow's defense ministry stated that the area close to the Donetsk front line had been seized as part of its ongoing offensives that have seen Russian troops again on ground and control about a fifth of the Ukrainian territory. The development comes as Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky insists that President Vladimir Putin aims to occupy the entire country, while peace talks remain stalled. And flesh shelling in Donetsk killed 3 civilians. Nigeria has joined 114 other countries to endorse New York Declaration on two-state solution between Israel and Palestine at the United Nations headquarters in New York. Applause rang out in the United Nations General Assembly Hall as countries endorsed the declaration on the peaceful settlement of the question of Palestinian and implementation of the two-state solution with Israel. And in sports, Team Nigeria is experiencing mixed fortunes at the World Athletics Championships in Tokyo, with Ajayi and Sunday Israel Okun delivering standout performances in the men's 100 meters. Ajayi cooked a personal best of 9.88 seconds to qualify from Heat 1, while 21-year-old Okun stunned the field in Heat 6 with 10.04 seconds, defeating Olympic champion Marcel Jacobs and Britain's. However, Nigerian's only female enrata, Rosemary Chukuma, failed a progress after finishing 5th in her 100 meters heat in 11.27 seconds as Jamaicans Ty Clayton stormed to victory. Arsenal have recorded a comfortable 3-0 victory over Nottingham Forest in the English Premier League fixture. The win highlighted Arsenal's attacking fluidity and defensive control across the match. The result gives the team momentum as the league campaign continues. Barcelona coach has criticized Spain over its handling of Yamal's injury during international duty. Flick said the situation raised concern about player welfare and the need for clearer medical protocols. The exchange underscores rising tensions between the club and the national team over player care. We end the Global TV AM News with a look at some of our top stories. The National Emergency Management Agency has confirmed 1 death following the collapse of a 3-story building under construction at the Alagomeji in the Yaba area of Lagos State. In business, Nigeria recorded full import bill totaling 4 trillion naira in the first half of 2025. On the foreign scene, Russia says its forces have captured a village in Ukraine's central region through Kyiv, and independent analysts dispute the claim. And in sports, Team Nigeria is experiencing mixed fortunes at the World Athletic Championships in Tokyo, with Ajayi Kemisola and Sunday Israel delivering standout performances in the men's 100 meters. That's it on Global TV AM News. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV, channels 365 and StarTimes, channels 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using at Global TV NG now showing on your screen. I am Satya Yakubu saying thank you